How's it going, everybody? Hope everybody's having an awesome Wednesday. This is my first time logging in this late, so I'm testing it out, see if more people are on or not. So I'm just checking in, seeing how everybody's doing, and then we're gonna talk about the why. Dude, stop licking me. My assistant Whiskey here is telling me that he wants to go play. Anyways, how's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's having a fantastic week so far. Whiskey, please. Hope everybody's having a great weekend, not weekend. How's everybody doing? Where you from? Tell me a little bit about yourself. If you haven't been to any of my lives, welcome. If you have and you are a returning viewer / listener, then welcome back. My name is Alex, and I am with Bravery Life and Health Consulting. As you probably already know, that's pretty obvious. Notorious sarcasm. Great. I like your name. That's your handle. That's pretty funny. How's it going? Alabama. Right on. How's it going in Alabama? Is it getting humid over there yet? 'Cause it's super hot here in Tennessee. It's starting to warm up. Anyways, I'm gonna put some music because I like to have music in the background. It helps my tinnitus. And we're gonna wait a few more minutes while see if anybody else, more folks join in, and then we're gonna kick off the topic. And know that if you gotta go or if you want to get back on this live that we're going to talk about today, I upload all of my TikTok lives on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, so you can always catch them there if you have to go for whatever reason. But yeah, for today's topic, I wanted to just check in with everybody and talk about the why. I think that's one of the most important questions in understanding anything in life. By understanding the why of things, we are able to better navigate, right, life and also get more clarity as to why we're doing the things that we're doing, why we feel the way we feel, and why are the things that are happening to us happening. And I think that's such a powerful question. And when you reach the block, right, or if you reach an obstacle in which you find yourself saying, well, I don't know why, or you can't seem to get past that, then this is what I'm going to show you guys on how to unlock that. I'm sorry, I keep playing with my arms because I ate it the other day. And this scab is, I'm trying to make sure it doesn't peel off. It got caught on something the other day. Anyways, so yeah, oftentimes, even nowadays, even as a life coach, I still ask myself, when I get triggered by something, or if I'm having a rough day, or if I'm feeling off for whatever reason, I always ask, why am I feeling this way? And I really try to get to the root of it, right? And understand, rather than just ignore it or do something that will get my mind off of it, which a lot of people teach that doesn't always work, right? And I didn't want to come up with a solution that was temporary. I wanted to come up with a solution that provided me pure depth as to why that behavior was coming up for me, and so I could enjoy the rest of my day, right? So this is what I came up with, and I'm sorry, I'm super distracted because this scab, it's bugging me. So anyways, how many of you wake up, let me ask you this, how many of you wake up feeling like you don't know why you feel like shit, right? You're just like, oh, I feel off. maybe it's emotional, maybe you had a bad dream, or maybe it's something that's going on from the previous day. And you wake up and you're like, man, I just hate waking up like this, waking up to this thought or to these feelings. How many of you feel that? I'm sure at one point, all of you have felt that, right? And if you feel like kind of stuck, like you don't know how to get out of that funk, and maybe you already know why, but you don't understand why it's still there, is oftentimes our bodies. Like our bodies are a communication system, right? Just how we just how we oftentimes we think, oh, like I'm getting my throat is getting a little achy or scratchy, like that's indications that you're getting sick, right? Or our bodies also communicate with us when we are not mentally doing well, or we're emotionally not doing well, but we don't. They don't teach that, right? They don't teach us that. So we wake up feeling like, oh, I just feel groggy, or I just feel off, and you don't know quite why that's happening. And because we're not paying attention to our bodies and what it's trying to tell us. And oftentimes what people do is like, well, I'll just throw on a movie, or I'll put some music or something to distract you, right? Thinking that distraction is gonna help you feel better. But realistically, what that does is it's like saying that I have a little cold, right? Or you feel like your throat's a little itchy, and then going outside on 20-degree weather, right? You're avoiding it, even though your body's telling you, hey, like we need to be warm. We're getting sick here. So the first thing to do is identify, right? Identify that something that your body is trying to tell you something, and our subconscious mind is such a powerful thing that we are still learning on how to understand it. Even scientists still don't know where the sources comes from, or its entirety. It's what is the whole role of our subconscious mind. But we know that it's there, and that's very powerful. And we get a lot of messages, right? That intuitive messaging that we all get, like, oh, don't do this, or maybe you shouldn't do that, or I have a bad feeling about this, or I have a good feeling about that. That's our intuition, which is connected with our subconscious mind. It's that higher, whatever you want to call it, higher self, higher being, that comes and delivers that message to us, and it's just, you just have a strong feeling to follow it. It's our body speaking to us, right? And when we can tap in more into that, and start to really listen to what our bodies is trying to tell us and what our intuition is trying to tell us, and surrender, right? Surrender to instead of running away or trying to force it against it, you just tap into it and say, okay, I feel crappy because yesterday, I broke up with my ex, right? With my girlfriend or my boyfriend, whatever the situation is for you. And, that's understandable. You wake up like that, or maybe you wake up and you feel, I'm just sad because I've been dealing with depression for so many years, and I don't know what to do. Or maybe you wake up and you feel anxious because, you are nervous or scared about different things that are going on in your life right now, and you just feel like you're in the cycle. Every day is the same shit and it never changes. If that's your life, then that's not right? That there's something to be said there. There's something, your body's trying to tell you, hey, like things are not good. Things are really, really are not good, and we need to do something about this. And so the best thing that I love to do is do a quick little meditation. If you haven't done any meditations, if you're new to it, or if you haven't done it, I highly recommend it. It changed my life. I used to suffer from PTSD, heavy depression and anxiety, and it really did so much work for me. And I did a lot of my healing through meditation, and it helped me calm down, right? It helped me calm my body, my mind, because all these things that I described to you are all mental things, right? That our mind is stuck in some sort of a past or some sort of events. So when I started meditating, it was really difficult for me, and it was the first time I realized how much in control I am not in, right? Because part of meditation is you have to calm down your thoughts. And if you have a hard time calming down your thoughts, then what does that tell you? Like how are you, of course you're gonna have a hard time controlling all the other emotions like depression and sadness and all this other stuff. And so for me, it was a real wake-up call to like, wow, it makes sense why I feel like my emotions are in this roller coaster. It makes sense why I feel like I'm not in control of my life and there's so many unknowns. Well, because I don't know how to manage my own mind, right? I don't know how to master it. And so I think that was my first realization, and it's what inspired me to continue to meditate in order to calm my mind. Because if we can learn how to calm our minds, then when these thoughts come, right, when these emotions come and all these other things that come in our lives, then we feel much more encouraged and we feel much more empowered to really just say, okay, everything's gonna be all right. I'm gonna just relax, and you feel in control. And that's the best feeling, when you feel like you're in control, even though there's maybe chaos in the outside world. And so practicing meditation really is huge, and I highly recommend it for everybody. And give it a chance. Like give it at least a month of just doing it every other day, if you can, every day. And just start slow. Do guided meditations, and then maybe work up your way with non-guided after 3 or 4 weeks, and see how you feel. Notice like how much calmer you feel. Notice how much you learned, and for me, I get messages and I get downloads and I get peace and calmness in my, not only just in my mind, but just everywhere in my body. And I'm able to then journal afterwards and say like, hey, like this is why I'm feeling this way, and this is what's going on. I'm able to think much more clearly. So I would highly recommend that you get in some sort of a morning routine that is going to help you when you wake up feeling crappy or anything like that. It's going to give you that strength when you need it, to control yourself and to be able to get out of a dark place and into a beautiful place, which everyone can be at. Anyways, does that make sense so far? I'm going to take a pause here and read some of these comments. You're right. I felt that way, but many ways. To be happy, go with your friends, make some fun. Yeah, of course. But you still there, getting stronger. Yes, it makes you better. Yeah, I mean, like I said, there are ways to say, oh, you know what, I'm not feeling well, I'm going to go and distract yourself. Does it work? Yeah, it can work, right? Yes, it works, but it's not permanent, it's temporarily, right? Raisinaragon. How do you say that? Raisinegron. What's your name? I don't know how to even say that, but your face looks familiar. How's it going? T Margo, are you okay now? Yes, I'm good. I'm a life coach. I would not be a life coach if I was not okay. I would not do that. I would not help people like I am around the globe if I was not in a position in which I was good myself. It's just, that would never work. It would never work. So I'm just sharing this story with you all because it's my journey, right? And maybe some of you are feeling that way. Maybe some of you are going through this struggle, and you know, it's life is short, and there's no need to feel like you're stuck, in this nightmare or in this darkness, because you know, I realized by doing all the work that I've done that it doesn't have to be like that. But they are trauma, they are things that happen in our lives, and we live in a society that they don't teach us how to deal with that, right? So we do our best, and sometimes it's not enough, and it still leaves us feeling empty and sad and all these other feelings, right? So just doing things differently. And I just invite you all to just think about that. If there's something that you're going on right now in your life and you're feeling stuck, it's okay. You know, it's okay to feel stuck. It's okay to feel discouraged and sad and all these other things. What's not okay is to stay there, right? It's not all right to stay there. So I just want to encourage you all to just to open your minds and your hearts to doing things different, and to realize that life is beautiful no matter what your circumstance is. So let me read these comments. Amira, hey, how's it going? Amira, she's one of my clients. How's it going, Amira? Thank you so much for joining. She's been doing awesome. Speaking with people working from around the globe. Amira is in Dubai, and she's an incredible woman, doing excellent. I enjoy working with her very much, and we're making great progress, and I'm just so proud. And it's the best feeling to see people that come to you with you know, obstacles and things that are going on in their life, and then just be able to guide them to success and happiness and empowerment. And so Amira is a great example of that, and I just feel so lucky to be able to work with her, because she's an incredible and beautiful woman. So inside and out. And yeah, so how's it going, Amira? Thank you so much for joining. Timargo says, be happy, life goes fast. 100%. I am very happy. I love my life. You know, the things that I was sharing with you, I know it's a little dark, and maybe you're thinking that I'm not like that right now or anymore. That was just me sharing my story a little bit. So if some of you are going through that, I want you to know that I've been there, and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, right? And that's all that was. But I'm a very happy human being, and yeah, thank you though. I appreciate that. Carolina del Norte, North Carolina, right on. Wait, from North Carolina. Okay, got it. But I still don't know your name. You never told me your name. Yes, just fresh felling, but I know all happens. God have a plan, and to go make you a stronger person. Yes, 100%. Yeah, I mean, you need the challenges to grow, right? I mean, that's another thing that most people don't realize. Like, we all want, have you been here in Dubai? I have not been to Dubai yet. It's on my list. I really want to go. It's definitely, it looks like a cool place to go for sure. Hello from New Mexico. Hello from Tennessee here. Am I married? I am not married, but I am in a relationship. Are we doing questions? Let's do questions. Let's do it. It's question time. All right. Hit him up. Let me know. What do you want to know? What do you want to know about Alex? I wonder what this button does. What does that do? Oh, you can invite people. Nice. That's cool. Hi from Michigan. Hello. How is it in Michigan? Is it still cold or what? I feel like it's always cold over there. But hello. How's it going? Samantha. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Samantha. Where are you? City. I am in Nashville, Tennessee. Where are you, and what is your name? T. Margot. Is that your name? Whiskey. Place. Where are you place? That's Whiskey. He's my assistant. Some of you have met him. He's very needy today. He's very, very needy. Ever since I got hurt, he's been a leech. Hi, dude. You wanna say hi? Come up here. Look over here, dude. Look. Oh no, look over here. Look. Oh, okay, dude. Okay. It's 82 today. Oh wow, it's really warm. Okay, dude. Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, let's get down for a sec. Okay, I'll be right with you. Okay, dude. 82 today. We're in the mid 70s. Now, wow, yeah, okay. So we have survived the winter coldness. Oh, it's been a weird year, at least here in Tennessee. It's been colder than usual, and it's been kind of a funky. Dude, what are you doing? Don't spill the water. This guy. Okay, dude. Stop licking me. Oh my god. Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad that it's warming up over there. It's getting super hot over here too. Hi from Montreal, Canada. Oh, that's awesome. I love Canadians. They're awesome. They're good people. I've never met a Canadian I didn't like. So, hello, Stephanie. Orange County, California. I used to live in Orange County. I used to live in Mission Viejo. So I know that area very well. And before moving here, I lived in LA. Thank you, T Margo. It's nice to have a cute puppy like that. I think he's sweet. Thank you, Whiskey. Had a few drinks before he came visit you. That's why his name is Whiskey. Yeah. He's he loves attention, and as you can see. Oh, he says hi. Okay, dude. And he's very, very loving. He's very loving. My dog does that too. Wants all the attention. Yep. See, the world revolves around Whiskey. But you know what? I love animals. I've always been a huge animal lover, and I've grew up around dogs, and honestly, like, we can learn so much from animals. It's quite interesting to watch him just navigate life as a dog, and sometimes I'm like, you know what? I just need to not worry about that and just go with the flow, kind of how they do it, right? How's it going, Martha Alexandra 15? How's it going? How are you doing? Happy Wednesday, happy hump day, wherever you are in the world, whether it's Dubai, bless you, whether it's Canada, New Mexico, California, we got Michigan. Whiskey's moving things around. We got people from all over. That's why I love this app. Like, it always. Right now we have a pretty. Bless you, dude. We have a pretty small group of folks online, but usually there's people from all over the world, and I just love that. I love hearing how learning about other people and just hearing what they're doing and how life is elsewhere. And I don't know about you guys, but here in the United States, you know, masks have finally been pretty much. Dude, you okay? The whole COVID thing is changing a lot, and I'm not gonna get into it, but it's just things are changing, and so it's bless you, dude. You alright? I'm just happy to see more people, and things are starting to. He thinks he's a lap dog too, as you can see. Things are starting to open up and change, and I just feel like a lot of people are really looking forward to that. I know I enjoy seeing people and more around, and I live in a community where it's the neighborhood. There's always something going on. There's a farmer's market today, and I got some fresh vegetables and fruit, and I just love seeing people, you know, and outside and just talking and networking, and that's what life is all about. Whiskey says it's allergy season. Bless you, whiskey. Yeah, it's pretty bad here. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Good old whiskers. Okay, buddy. You don't fit here. Okay, I gotta get back to my life. My life. Okay. Okay. Go over there. Go your place. Go your place. Place. Right there. Oh boy. Stay. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to this. So I talked about meditation, the importance of that, and I want you guys to think about as things are starting to change, and I encourage everybody to check in with yourselves and say, like, how am I doing right now? And am I, like, what's important? What do I want to do different? What did I learn from the last couple of years, with COVID and everything else? And like, what do I want for my life? Ask those questions and check in with yourself, and then ask why. Why is this important? And maybe it's a relationship thing. Maybe some of you are wanting to find your soulmate or that special somebody, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's a career thing, or maybe you guys want to change your lifestyle a little bit. Like, I moved out of LA from a busy city into Tennessee, and it was the best decision I've ever made. Whatever it is, like, just take the time to really check in with yourself and understand, like, where are you in life and where do you want to be, and ask yourself the question why. Like, why are those things important to you, and why do you want them, right? Whatever it is, because the more you understand that, the more you get used to asking yourself those questions, the more clarity you're gonna have always. So yeah. Anyways, that's probably going to be all for today, because there's not a lot of people, there's not a lot of interaction here, and that's okay. But I've never done one this late. I guess it's not as popular to do them this time. So I'm going to start doing back to when I used to do them in the morning. I got a lot more traffic in the morning and more people on. So let me read this comment. Isn't it great to see people smile? I love it. Yes. I miss people's smiles. Me too, Samantha. 100%. It's a beautiful thing. It really, really is. I definitely agree. Samantha asks a question. She's asking, how do you stay motivated? Stay on track with goals. So there's a lot of ways to do that. But what motivates anybody, right, it's the why. So, like, what is motivation for you? So motivation can be different for you than me. Like, for me, staying motivated means, like, staying on track with my goals. It means continuing to grow as a person. It means to grow my knowledge, grow my heart, grow my abundance, grow everything. And that's what makes me motivated, to help people. So whatever you're trying to do in life, if you don't have passion for it, if you don't understand the why, if you're like, well, I want to lose weight, but I'm not really, like, I don't really want to go to the gym. Or you go to the gym and it's, like, boring, right? You're on your phone, you're like, okay, I got 10 more to do, and you're kind of just going through the motions because you have to. It's going to be more challenging to be able to stay motivated. But if you develop a clear view as to what do you want in your life, and you attach emotions to it, and it's super clear, and you understand why it is you're doing it, then it's definitely gonna help you stay on track. And when those moments come, right? And those moments come when you're like, man, I feel crappy or unmotivated, because we all get those days. Have tools that can help you get back on track. For example, I have sticky notes. I have sticky notes all over the place. Not all over the place, but I have them in my bathroom. I have them in my closet. I have them on my computer. I have them here on my desk. And, I put them there with certain messages that I need reminders of, and so reminding myself of those messages is like, it's like a buddy system. Like saying, like, hey, but remember, you really want to lose weight, you know. So there's like, okay, you're right. I'm just gonna go, because going and taking it slow is better than not going at all. And then every time I go to the gym, I come back and I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I did it, right? We can all relate to that. That's just an example, getting fitness. But you have to find the motive. You really, really have to find the motive, because if you're just like, you're doing something because you think that's what's best for you, or because you kind of want it, but you don't want to do the work, then you're not going to be motivated, right? Or if you don't feel good with yourself, then of course you're not going to be motivated. So another thing is doing that self-work and holding yourself accountable. You know, just how friends need friends, just how we need people to sometimes to give us a little bit of like, hey, you got this, you're doing awesome. We need to do that with ourselves too. And so spending that time with doing meditation, doing journaling, you know, having a plan, I love to, one of my favorite things to do is to manifest. I really am always manifesting things, and it's kind of fun, honestly. And it holds myself accountable. And I was like, okay, well, out of those manifestations, goals will grow from them. And I feel excited. I'm like, wow, I'm really excited to do X, Y, and Z, to do those things. So, yeah, so and it's okay if you come to a point where you reach a plateau or something. Like before doing life coaching, I was working at Google, and I thought like that was gonna be like my dream job, right? I was like, oh, cool, I'm at my dream job. I'm here, I love it, this and that. And then I realized like, wow, I really don't love it here. And it's not for me. It's nothing wrong with the company, and I have nothing bad to say about it. I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to work there. But it wasn't for me, and it was because I wasn't passionate about it. Because I didn't even know what passion really truly was. Now, I didn't completely understand it until I dove deep into it. And so the more you can be clear and understand what's important to you and the why, and attach some sort of emotional feeling to it, the more that you're going to be able to have that motivation, because it's so clear, right? And so think about your goals here, right? So these are your goals, and I've done this a million times, and these challenges are going to come, the obstacles are going to come, right? They're going to come right here. And people do two things. They either say, okay, this is a challenge right here. This is a challenge, but my eyes are on my goals. So I'm not going to focus on the challenges. I'm going to focus on my goals. So I'm just going to get through this challenge and grow from it and learn from it. But sometimes people do this. They focus too much on the challenges, the things that happen in their lives, and they lose sight of their goals. And that can be with happiness, that can be with relationships, that can be with anything in our lives, right? And so holding each other, holding ourselves accountable, and by having clear set goals and understanding like why those goals are important and what do we want in our lives, will help us really like show up, especially when those challenges come. So we don't let these challenges distract us from getting to the goals that we want to achieve in life. Does that answer your question? Yes? No? So just, I would say just, devote some time, sit down, take a pen and a notebook, and have maybe look, I have a bunch of notebooks. I have my client notebook. I have, it's a little dusty. I have this notebook where I write all like my creative ideas and like goals and things that I want to do. And then I have this one, which is my business journal. And over here, I write pretty much anything that has to do with business related and how to grow and strategies and things of more intricate things. And then I have another one that's not here because I don't keep it here. It's a personal journal where I write how I'm feeling, my manifestations, and what I want out of my life. And so just when you write things down, also there's something so powerful about that, because what it does, right, it's no longer in your mind, it's now in the physical world, it's real, and there's so much power to that. So really like writing things down too, and organizing yourself by writing it down has so much power. You have to remember that growing up as a kid, right? We went from being in our heads to then going to school and learning to write, right? So writing was a way of learning, of making things happen, and we were graded on the things that we wrote, on the things that we had to figure out, things that we read. So our mind from an early stage has this understanding that when something is written down, it's real now, right? We just subconsciously don't think about this. But if you think about it from that perspective, so when you write something down, it really becomes so powerful, and you can always go back to it, right? It's no longer in your brain somewhere. And then at the end of the day, whatever thoughts are in our heads, they're just thoughts. They don't become real until we take action on them, or we bring them out here to make them real. So yeah, that's what I would say. Okay, it does, very much so. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, there's a lot of ways, but it comes within. You have to like just devote some time with yourself and be clear with yourself and be comfortable and be feeling good. Because when you feel good internally, you raise your vibrations, and when you start to raise your vibrational field, everything else starts to your outlook in life is a reflection of how you feel inside. So if you're feeling really, really happy on the inside, you can see, things from a much positive perspective. But when you are in a much darker place, then everything, appears very dark. So, yes. You're very welcome for that message. Hopefully that made sense. Sometimes I just talk, and I understand that my mind goes pretty fast, and sometimes I lose people, and they happen. So if that happens, just let me know. Okay, Long Cool Woman says, I've been struggling with an overwhelming amount of anxiety. I'm so sorry to hear that. Feeling good, look good, physically, mentally, yes. Okay, Long Cool Woman, let's do this. You ready to do some quick little dig in here? Let me ask you this. What triggers your anxiety? If you're comfortable answering my questions, of course. Hello, welcome to the live. Right now, it's my job. Okay. What about your job gives you anxiety? When you think about it, right? So you're like, anxiety, first thing that comes into your mind is your job. What is the feeling attached to it, to that anxiety in your job? What is it? The unknown? That's somebody else. Hello, if you're just joining, we're having a conversation with Long Cool Woman. She's struggling with anxiety. She has been for quite some time, and it's caused by her job, the stress from an employer. Okay, so see what we're doing here? We have anxiety. I should have my whiteboard here, actually. This is the perfect opportunity to use my whiteboard. So let's do this. Let's do this. Move it more towards me. Okay, so we have anxiety. Okay, that's short for anxiety. So we have anxiety, and it is caused by your job. And further down, employee. Okay? What are the feelings that come with anxiety? What's a feeling that comes with that? Having to express my opinion about a specific subject at work. Wait, there's like two people. Two separate people. Headache. So we have a physical. Okay. Let's just put HD for headache. I don't know if that makes sense, but just so you know, it's headache. Okay, so panic. It's also panic. Okay. What other physical attributes come from other than headache? So think about it, like you get a headache, but what's before that? Does your heart rate go up? Does your breathing get tighter? What are some of the things physically that when you start to feel anxious, and you're thinking about, your job and this certain employer? I feel like I'm struggling. I'm on the struggle bus here a little bit. There we go. Palpitations, sweating. Okay. So sweating. Okay. Let me just put that. Sweat. What else? Palpitations. What else? Gut wrenching, pit in my stomach, feeling. Okay, so let's pause there for a second. So I want to go back now to what's the first thought that comes, right? What's the first thought? It's an employee. What's the first feeling that comes? You said panic. So the first feeling is panic, right? Is that correct? So the first feeling is panic, and then you get these physical attributes to go with it. Do these physical feelings come right away, or do they develop the more you think about it? Okay, yeah. Does it come right away, or does it develop as you, the more you think about it? Develop when I think. That's what I thought. Okay, so what is the first physical feeling related to the panic? So the first thought is panic, and then what's the first physical feeling that you get? Do you feel like your heart rate goes up, or is it tightness of breathing? What's the first physical feeling you get when the thought of panic comes, when this anxiety is activated? The heart rate and dizziness. Okay, that is very important. So let's do this. Okay, so here's the thing, before we move any further. I feel like, there we go, it's probably a little better. So it probably looks like the other way around, but so far we are identifying what anxiety is for long, cool woman. I don't know what your name is, but so she's walking us through like what goes through her mind when she feels anxiety. And the first thing that we want to identify is, what are the emotions? So essentially is physically what happens, right? Physically, emotionally, reason or cause, number one, and cause number two. So it comes from her job, which is not really her job that it's the problem, but it's a certain individual within her job. But because this individual is in her job, it makes her job experience completely shitty, right? That's what I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm gonna say that. But realistically, this person here is the root of this problem. Now, we want to identify the physical and the feelings that come with it for this reason. Because, first of all, there's always a thought that comes in, right? And we're going to get further into this. And then there's the feelings. Now, the feelings she gets is heart rate and dizziness. So what does that tell me? That tells me that this person there's fear attached to it. There's some sort of fear attached to this anxiety. Whether and we're going to find that out, and she can confirm this with us, but that's causing your body to go on a protective mode or defense mode. This fight or flight mode, when we're as like an animal instinct, when we feel like we're in danger, our heart rate starts to raise and we get dizzy, and our body's almost like starts to like go on like, oh my God, panic mode. And as soon as that happens, right, then the Trojan horse of anxiety comes in, because that's what this was. The thought of this guy, this employee, or this person I should say, right? It's the Trojan horse that comes into our mind and brings all of these things with it. Panic, sweating, palpitations, emotionally feeling unstable, and they keep coming, and the more emotions that come, the more thoughts that come, then the worse it gets physically. And now you're in this roller coaster of like darkness, and feel probably really scared, sick to your stomach, hard to breathe, like, oh my God, panic, survivor mode, right? So here's the most important thing, okay? We want to teach your brain, first of all, that it doesn't have to be like this. And what you do is you want to breathe. And before we move on, notice that we're still scratching the surface here, right? We still have a lot of things to talk about here, but the first thing that I want you to focus on is when these feelings come, is to breathe, okay? And I want you to practice before even when this stuff happens, breathing every single day for at least 5 to 6 minutes, taking a deep breath in through your nose, holding it for a few seconds out through your mouth, and then only focusing on your breath. Focus on the air going into your lung, focus on the air you're breathing out, and find yourself focusing on relaxing your body. Why? Because when you do this, you're teaching your brain that when you take deep breaths, right, it means to calm down, right? So being really aware of that, by thinking about what you're breathing, it's helping you not only calm down your body, but it's helping you calm down your mind. And when you're able to calm down your mind and you're able to calm down your body, you're able to control the situation a lot more, almost right away, right? But if we feed the anxiety, it only grows and it only gets worse. And that's what's going on right now. A lot of people don't know how to stop feeding it, right? And so that's good that you have the breathwork app. That's good that you've been doing it. But I want you to, when you're doing the breath app, I want you to think about breathing only, right? Because what you're also doing by thinking about breathing, you bring yourself to the present moment, and you're not allowing these thoughts to continue to happen. Because you can breathe all day long, but if your mind is still on these thoughts here, if your mind is still on this employee, right? It doesn't matter. It's gonna calm you down for a little bit, but you're gonna find yourself on that wagon real quick again, where everything's gonna escalate. In fact, it can actually make it worse. It's like a pressure, right? So when you practice breathing on a daily basis, I want you to really, 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 really think about that breath that you're taking, the air in your lungs, and the only thing you should be thinking about is just that moment, right? Everything that's going on physically in your body, and then relaxing your body. One more trick before we move on. With this, something that I love to do and I tell all of my clients to do, your shoulders, bring them up to your ears when you breathe in, squeeze, and when you let out, just relax your shoulders, relax your tongue from the top of your mouth, relax your eyes, relax everything. Focus on really, really relaxing your body and be consciously thinking about that. So again, when that moment comes and you take a deep breath, your mind says, we know what to do here. We got to calm down. And it will be a lot easier for you to calm down. You're physically and mentally. So then you can move forward with the next technique that I'm going to show you on how to navigate out of this fear that is going on here with this employee. Does that make sense so far? Let me know. I'm going to take a drink. Awesome, confirmation. Okay, so next, this is how you heal from this. At least start to heal from it, right? Now that you know the cause and you know what triggers it, well, we know what happens when we think about the cause, right? It's a thought. And everything that comes along with it. Now we want to know the most important one, and that is the why, right? So why does this employee, let's use black for this. Why does this person, if you are comfortable sharing, why do they give you anxiety? I don't know, take your time, and if it's long, you can always join too. You can ask to join, that might be actually faster. Only if you're comfortable, of course. Demanding, okay. So demanding tells me stress, tells me probably attitude, tells me probably inconsiderate person, because they don't consider the demands. Probably aggression. I'm thinking maybe picking up maybe a little bit of aggression there in that demanding. Does that sound accurate? But so far we'll put demanding. Is that all the above? Okay. Okay. So there's demanding. There's also aggression. There's okay, demanding. Let's dig a little bit deeper with that. So when you say demanding, lack of support from leadership, mind controlling games, manipulation. Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a narcissistic individual, but okay, so they're demanding. Are they demanding in general, or are they demanding towards you? Very important question. In general, more coworkers feel it too. Okay, in general, that's very important. Okay, so this person is generally demanding, and the demand that they request from not just you, but everybody, causes your overall experience at work to be stressful, right? And the stress and the thought about having to do and deal with this person brings the anxiety, which brings all the thoughts probably of all the things that you're probably going to have to do or that you're going to have to deal with by just going to work every single day. Is that accurate? So if you just joined, we're doing a little live coaching on how to deal with anxiety, in particular with Long Cool Woman. She's been awesome sharing with us. Very accurate. Been working from home and scared to go back to the office. Okay, There it is. That's the word I was looking for. Fear. Remember, we talked about it earlier. Most anxiety that people live with is number one thing attribute that goes along with it is fear, right? There's always some sort of fear that is attached to anxiety. Let me know if the music is too loud. So you're afraid to confront this person and you feel uncomfortable and they're very pushy. So the next question is, what have you done to solve this problem? Meaning, have you talked to somebody from leadership about how this person makes you feel, or have you determined that maybe it's a combination of him and the work environment in general? Like, is that just accepted, right? Like the type of work, like when I was working at Google, was extremely demanding, and I was working until midnight sometimes, and I hated it. So I had a manager who was also very demanding, and I had to realize that I needed to address the issue, right? So I addressed the issue firstly with them. Let's see what she says. Yes, I've talked to my supervisor. At this point, I've been looking for other places to work. Okay, perfect. So we already have a long-term solution. That's what I was trying to get at. So you want to have a long-term solution, ultimately, and then a short-term solution. So while you're looking for a place, you want to be able to navigate through your life and not feel like super stressed out when you deal with this person. So this is how we're going to do this. Number one thing is changing this idea here of anxiety. This person, right? And the reason to why they bring you anxiety to the point that it makes you all these physical things is they have power over you at this moment. They are the ones who control your emotions, and the fear, right, of dealing with this individual causes all the physical and emotional aspects of it, and they're just basically thoughts. Right? That's all it is. It's all it is if you really comes down to it, right? If you really think about it, what triggers this anxiety is the thought of this person and how they are as a person, as individuals, and what they do to your workspace. So what I want you to work on is taking your power back on you. And this is what I'm talking about. When you can control your feelings, when you can control your thoughts, when you can control your emotions, it doesn't matter what this ass wipe does, right? Pardon me. It's because you are in control. And even though it's not, pleasant and you don't enjoy it, you can still control your emotions knowing that you have a long-term goal already set in plan, right? So let me just read that. Definitely, that's why I feel like I lost my passion there. Okay, so one person can really have a huge impact on the whole ecosystem of a company. And that's why it's unfortunate, it's important to have really strong leadership, and the whole corporate thing, that's what's just not for me. But what you can do again is control yourself, right? And first thing that I want you to work on is taking this away, dealing with the anxiety. And the way you're going to do that is you got to reprogram your brain and shift it. Now that we have identified everything, to go from this person equals anxiety to this person means breathing, calming down, and everything is going to be okay. I got this. I'm not going to feed into the fear. I'm not going to feed into the demanding behavior, right? I'm not going to do that. And instead, I'm going to control my emotions, knowing that I already know what to expect from this guy. I'm going to prepare myself, and I'm going to change my attitude about this and as much as I can, knowing that I have a long-term goal, right? So that is very important. And that's why you have to practice your breathing. You have to practice calming your brain down so you can teach your brain that this no longer is going to be a habit, because it's become a habit. That's what anxiety is. They're habits, right? So try that out. try that out for now, and I want you to really just put a lot of emphasis on just feeling like you're in control of your emotions, that these emotions don't have control over you, no matter what behavior comes along the way, because at the end of the day, we can choose to react to them, right? And I know that sounds tough and challenging, because it is, but these little tricks of breathing and really understanding that you are in control of your own mind are really pinnacle moments, or pinnacle tools that if we learn to master them, the more we practice them, the more we can feel like, you know what, everything is gonna be all right, and this guy, he's predictable. I already know what to expect, so let me prepare for that, right? Let me prepare for that by just knowing that this is my energy, this is my life, and he can demand everything he wants, but hold your boundaries. Have boundaries for yourself. And if you're being asked to do too much, that's when you gotta say, hey, you know what? Talk to your supervisors. Like, I'm getting pushed too much, and I don't feel comfortable with this, and honestly, it's really hindering and it's affecting my mental health and how I feel comfortable coming to work. And I really don't want that, because I have a lot of passion for being here. And you know, sometimes voicing that can really be important. So then your leadership, if they're a good leadership, can then, you know, address the individual and just tell them like, hey, you need to just relax. You need to calm down a little bit. Or just having that agreement with your manager saying like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm only going to do X, Y, and Z because, you know, that's what I'm supposed to do. And this is pushing too much. It's way too demanding. And it goes far beyond expectations of my job description. So just having boundaries and being confident and standing up for yourself and not being afraid, but taking fear and saying, you know what? No, fear is only a limitation. It's the unknown. It's the uncomfortable. It's what makes us uncomfortable. But when we can face our fears by becoming brave and knowing that we have nothing to really fear, right? We feel empowered to take control over our lives and speak up and use our voice. So I don't know if that's helpful. Let me know. But that's how, given the time, obviously we can't go super deep, but that's how my brain works around as far as like anxiety. It's really sitting down and understanding all of it, not just, oh, I have anxiety because Dingleberry here is a demanding asshole, right? No, go deeper and really understand everything, and then say, okay, well, how can I change this, right? It's like a mathematical solution or problem. When you have the problem, you plug in different numbers, and you're looking for a certain answer. So plug in the right tools, plug in different numbers, and you'll get different results. And whichever one fits best, you know, hone in on that and continue to practice it. But just don't give in, don't give up. I'm sorry you're going through this. It's really frustrating. I've been there. It sucks. It's uncomfortable. It's stressful. And, you know, people sometimes don't realize like how much of an impact they have by, if they're not well, you know, this is why I'm so like strong about teaching people how to feel good themselves, because when people don't feel good, they show up to work, they show up to their marriage, they show up to life with that attitude, and it affects other people, and that's just really unfortunate. It becomes a trickle effect, because then you get affected and you're stressful, and then you take that stress and frustration maybe on somebody else or something else, which is maybe out of character, and then that person feels that and then they do it, and it just keeps going, right? So by being conscious of it and being aware of it and wanting to change ourselves and being able to show up ourselves to the best of our abilities, we can also make that reversal trickle effect where people are being like, wow, you know, okay, I'm gonna be more positive, or wow, this person is really nice to me, and that made my day. And so just think about it like that, and don't let one person really control you, because that's what's happening here with your anxiety. She says, thank you so much for your time and explaining this. I appreciate it. Absolutely. I hope it was helpful. Again, typically I would go in on a much deeper dive, but given time, I wanted to just give you a quick little diagnosis on how you can stop this right here, right? That it's not really this person, right? This is something that this is how you're dealing with this person, and it doesn't have to be like that. And whiskey is back. So, dude, whiskey, calm down. Hang on. Go over there. Anyways, I hope that made sense. I hope that was helpful. I'm gonna work on dinner for me and the dude. That's whiskey. We cook for him. We do home meals. So I gotta cook for us. But it was awesome interacting with all of you. And again, thank you for sharing that. Long Cool Woman. I really appreciate you opening up to me with that. And hope all of you have an amazing rest of your week. I'm going to be doing these every week. Sometimes I don't get to, and I apologize. But if you ever have a topic that you want me to talk about, send me a message, and I'm happy to do it. But I really want to start to do more lives. The traffic is kind of weird. It's like, sometimes it's like not a lot of people, other times it's a bunch, but it doesn't matter. I'm here for whoever's here to listen, whoever needs help. That's what I'm here for. I want to help as many people in the world as I can. That's my goal in life. Because life is short and life is beautiful. And if I have tools that can help you and that can change the way you wake up tomorrow, then I've done my job. That's my purpose. That's what my purpose is on this earth. So sending all of you my love and my peace and the highest of vibrations to you all. Remember that you're beautiful, that you're unique, that you're powerful, you're amazing. And that there's no one on this earth like you. So don't be ashamed of that. Hone into that. Okay? All right. Have an amazing rest of your evening, morning, whatever it is that you're having. And thank you for tuning in.